Remember MySpace? Friendster? The good old days. These platforms were the pioneers of social networking, the first steps into a new digital frontier. They were simple, almost innocent in their design and purpose. We logged on to connect with friends, to share our lives in a way that was never possible before. It was a revolution in communication, a way to bridge distances and bring people closer together. We thought it was just about connecting, sharing photos with friends, making new ones. It was a digital playground where we could express ourselves freely, post our thoughts, and showcase our lives. The thrill of receiving a new friend request or a comment on our latest post was exhilarating. It felt like the world was at our fingertips, and we were all part of a global community. It seemed harmless, even exciting. The novelty of it all was captivating. We were pioneers in this new digital age, exploring uncharted territories. The possibilities seemed endless, and the future looked bright. We were connecting in ways we never imagined, forming bonds that transcended physical boundaries. Little did we know, a beast was being born. Beneath the surface of this seemingly innocent platform, something more sinister was taking shape. The algorithms were learning, adapting, and evolving. They were beginning to understand us better than we understood ourselves. Our likes, our dislikes, our habits, and our desires were all being meticulously recorded and analyzed. This new world, the social world, was addictive. The constant notifications, the endless scrolling, the dopamine hits from every like and comment, it was all designed to keep us hooked. We found ourselves spending more and more time online, often at the expense of our real-world relationships and responsibilities. The lines between the digital and physical worlds began to blur. We craved likes, comments, shares. These digital affirmations became a measure of our self-worth. We started to curate our lives to fit the mold of what we thought would get the most engagement. Authenticity took a backseat to popularity. We were no longer just sharing our lives, we were performing for an audience. Validation from people we barely knew. We were hooked, but someone was watching. Someone saw the potential. Someone saw the strings. Behind the scenes, the architects of these platforms were realizing the power they held. They saw an opportunity to influence, to manipulate, to control. They began to pull the strings, guiding our behaviors and shaping our perceptions. They saw a way to control the masses. The data we freely provided was a goldmine, a treasure trove of information that could be used to predict and influence our actions. They could steer public opinion, sway elections, and drive consumer behavior. The power of social media was no longer just about connection. It was about control, to whisper into the ears of millions, to subtly influence our thoughts and beliefs. The algorithms became more sophisticated, the tactics more refined. We were being nudged ever so gently in the directions they wanted us to go. Our feeds were curated to show us what they wanted us to see, to think, to feel, to shape thoughts, beliefs, even realities. The lines between truth and fiction began to blur. Misinformation spread like wildfire, and echo chambers reinforced our existing beliefs. We were living in a digital bubble, each of us experiencing a different version of reality, tailored to our preferences and biases. This wasn't about connection anymore. This was about control. The social media landscape had transformed from a place of innocent connection to a powerful tool of manipulation. We had become puppets, our strings pulled by unseen hands. The birth of connection had given rise to a new era of control. Slowly, subtly, a new breed emerged, the influencers. They started as ordinary people, sharing snippets of their lives, their thoughts, and their passions. But soon they became something more. They became the voices we listened to, the faces we recognized, and the personalities we trusted. They weren't your typical celebrities. They didn't have the glitz and glamour of Hollywood stars, nor the political power of world leaders. Instead, they had something far more potent: relatability. They were relatable, just like us. They shared their daily routines, their struggles, their triumphs. They made us feel seen, heard, and understood. In a world that often felt disconnected, they bridged the gap. They gained our trust, our loyalty, We followed their every move, eagerly awaiting their next post, their next story. We felt a connection, a bond that was both intimate and powerful. We invited them into our homes, our lives, through our screens. They became a part of our daily routines, our conversations, our decisions. They were no longer just influencers. They were friends, mentors, and guides. They told us what to buy, what to wear, what to think, and we listened. Their recommendations became our choices, their opinions our beliefs. They shaped our tastes, our preferences, our identities. We followed, we obeyed. In a world overwhelmed with information, they were our filters, our curators. They simplified our choices, guided our actions, and influenced our behaviors. We were no longer individuals. Our thoughts, our desires, our actions were synchronized. We moved as one, driven by the content they created, the messages they shared. We were a collective, molded by these unseen hands. They pulled the strings and we danced to their tune. They had the power to shape our perceptions, our realities. These influencers, with their millions of followers, became powerful. They wielded influence that surpassed traditional boundaries. They were the new power brokers, the new leaders, more powerful than celebrities, more powerful than politicians. They had the ability to sway public opinion, to drive trends, to shape the future. They were the puppet masters of the digital age. They held the keys to the kingdom, our minds, and they knew it. They understood the power they held, and they used it to their advantage. They were the architects of our digital lives, the rulers of our virtual worlds. Elections, once about policies and debates, became popularity contests. The essence of democracy, where informed citizens made choices based on policies and ideologies, started to shift. The traditional political landscape was disrupted by a new breed of influencers who wielded immense power over public opinion. These influencers, with their massive followings, began to play a pivotal role in shaping political outcomes. Influencers, with a single post, could sway millions of votes. Their reach extended far beyond traditional media, tapping into the daily lives of their followers. A tweet, an Instagram story, or a YouTube video could change the course of an election. Their opinions, often seen as more relatable and trustworthy than those of politicians, held significant weight. They became political kingmakers, deciding the fate of nations. Politicians, recognizing their influence, began to court these digital celebrities. Meetings behind closed doors, endorsements, and collaborations became commonplace. The line between genuine support and strategic alliances blurred, leaving the public to wonder about the true motivations behind these endorsements. Remember that election where that one influencer told everyone to vote for you-know-who? That moment became a turning point, highlighting the sheer power of social media in the political arena. The viral nature of their posts meant that messages spread like wildfire, reaching millions in a matter of minutes. Yeah, that happened, because we trust these people more than we trust ourselves. Their authenticity, or at least the perception of it, made them more credible than traditional news sources. In a world where misinformation is rampant, the personal connection influencers have with their followers made their words gospel. It's scary. The lines blurred. Was it their opinion, or were they paid to say it? The commercialization of influence meant that endorsements could be bought, and opinions could be swayed with the right amount of money. Followers were left questioning the authenticity of the messages they received. Did they actually believe in the causes they promoted? Or were they simply jumping on the bandwagon for clout? The genuine passion for social causes was often overshadowed by the need for likes, shares, and followers. The true intentions behind their activism were constantly under scrutiny. Or was it all just a game? A game with real-world consequences. The stakes were high, and the players were many. In this new age of digital influence, the power dynamic shifted, leaving us to ponder the true cost of this modern-day popularity contest. Let's name names, shall we? People like insert name of a controversial influencer with their miracle weight loss teas. Toxic positivity gurus like insert name of another controversial influencer preaching happiness while hiding their own demons. These people aren't your friends. They're salespeople. They're selling you a lifestyle, an image, a fantasy, and they're getting rich doing it. Rich off your insecurities, your aspirations, your need for validation. They exploit our vulnerabilities for profit. They prey on our desire to be liked, to be accepted. And we, the willing participants, lap it up. Section 5. Pump and dump get-rich-quick schemes. Ever heard of pump and dump schemes? Influencers, with their insider access, hype up a cryptocurrency or a stock. The price skyrockets. They sell high, making millions. And what happens to their followers? They're left holding the bag. They lose their savings, their livelihoods. But the influencer? They're already on to the next scheme, the next opportunity to exploit. This isn't harmless entertainment. This is manipulation. This is exploitation. This is wrong. This is... Section 6. The dark side of the double tap. We're so busy scrolling, liking, commenting, that we don't see the bigger picture. We're losing ourselves in a sea of filtered photos and curated lives. We're comparing, competing, feeling inadequate. We're addicted to the dopamine hits, the instant gratification. We're slaves to the algorithm, feeding the beast with our attention, our data, our souls. We're losing our ability to think critically, to question, to dissent. This is not normal. This is not healthy. This is a crisis of our own making. Section 7. Unplug to wake up. There's only one way to break free. Unplug. Delete your accounts. Step away from the screen. Reclaim your mind, your time, your life. It won't be easy. You'll experience withdrawal. You'll feel FOMO. You'll miss the likes, the comments, the validation, but I promise you it's worth it. The real world is waiting. Real connections, real experiences, real life. Don't waste it scrolling through a fake world. Section 8. Our choice: freedom or followers. The choice is yours. Freedom or followers. Truth or manipulation. Reality or a carefully curated illusion. It's time to wake up. It's time to break free. It's time to take back control. Delete your accounts. You'll thank me later. I promise.